It's all over. My life is out of my hands and has fallen into the hands of a stranger who is gonna be my husband. Why am I getting into this marriage? Why aren't my parents listening to me? Why can't anyone see my pain? Is it my fault to be born as a girl? Why doesn't anyone ask me what if I like or dislike before expect me to do something? She is looking down but also glancing slightly at her parents who are there watching her. Before she could say anything, her mom gestured for her to maintain a sarcastic smile. Vine forced a smile and turned her towards her groom, who is standing next to her. The groom, handsome and dapper, is kind of man that any girl could fall him just by looking at him. He said handsome, but Vine didn't react, even though he was so close to her. She said in dislike she is considering her suffering because everything she is doing is something she truly doesn't want. You may kiss the bride. Jungkook smiled and moved closer to her. She clutched her dress and shut her eyes as if he was going to swallow her with just a single kiss. She was waiting for his kiss. Her whole body was frozen. Why is she frozen like this? Is she blushing because I'm gonna kiss her in front of everyone? I think so. Maybe I'll let her be. I shouldn't mess up her blushing. He smiled and admiring her innocent closed eyes as she waited for him, he leaned towards her without touching his body to hers, and he kissed her cheek instead of her lips, which is what she didn't really expected. After 2 hours, Jungkook took his in his house in his car. The car stopped in front of his house. Now he was staring at her, while she looked at his home in a calm manner, neither with surprise nor disappointment. He didn't get it if she liked it his home or not. Jungkook, why? Just her gaze fixed on the ground, not looking at him. Jungkook, this is my house. No, our house. Did you like it? She nodded. He had expected a yes from her. But his smile didn't drop. He pulled out his suitcase while she stood there, looking somewhat lost. Jungkook, let's go inside. She is holding her heavy gown slightly up while walking in, while he is holding the suitcase and walking. After entering, her eyes widened as she scanned around. Seeing her expression, he chuckled and blew near her ear, making her flinch. Jungkook, what are you thinking? Looking so surprised? Don't worry, you don't need to sweep the whole house. I will clean it. He started laughing but stopped because she didn't actually laugh. Are you usually this quiet, reserved and steady, rarely speaking? Why, isn't that what a girl is supposed to be always? He was speechless because she was finally talking to him, even more so due to her question. Jungkook, in which rule is written that a girl should be like a robot, not free to be herself with others? I don't know, but my parents told me that's what a girl's supposed to be always. Jungkook, whatever it is, be how you want to be. Don't become what you don't like, and don't do what you don't wanna. She glanced at him in disbelief. She had thought her husband would be like her parents, but Jungkook is a completely different person. Jungkook, what are you looking at? Say okay. Why? Okay. Jungkook. Okay, Jungkook. Why? Okay, Jungkook. She called him in a normal manner, but his heart was overwhelmed. A smirk appeared on his face, and he controlled it before changing the topic. Jungkook, the bedroom is in the room upstairs on the left. Let's go, and you need to change your clothes. They both went into the bedroom. Seeing the inside of the room, she liked it. He placed the suitcase down. Jungkook, go and freshen up. I will prepare dinner for us after I take a shower as well. She nodded as he left, smiling. Can he really cook? He even said he cleaned the house. Why does he seem so different? I have never seen anyone like him before. After taking a bath, she put on a simple gown and left her hair down. Then she went downstairs to see him. As she walked, she finally spotted him cooking. She was walking towards him to help, but he suddenly turned around and surprised her. "One, I will help you." "Jungkook, I will help you, Jungkook." He corrected her as if he were a kid. "One, yeah. Jungkook, I will help you." "Jungkook, no, I'm almost done, and just sit there. I will set the table in the 2 minutes." She nodded and went to the table, taking a seat. She is admiring her husband while he is busy. After 2 minutes, he cooked and brought the food to the dining table, setting it down while she silently looked on. He pulled his chair closer to hers and sat down beside her, serving food into the plates. As he looked at her, she immediately looked away, which made him smile. "Why, look at me?" He tilted his head and called, making her to look at him once again. "Are you secretly admiring my face? Do you like how I look?" Her face suddenly displayed a hint of shyness as their eyes met. She quickly shook her head, almost in tension. Jungkook narrowed his eyes and asked her once more, pretending everything was normal inside. But he couldn't help but smile proudly, having already noticing her shy. "Jungkook, so you are saying you don't like my face?" Once again she shook her head, denying it. "Jungkook, does that mean you like me?" Her eyes widened and she bit her lower lip. She nodded both as yes and no, getting caught up in her arrayed response. He was teasing her, but she hadn't realized it yet. "Jungkook, why? And I didn't get it." "Why? Jungkook, please." "Jungkook, just asking why." "Well, you have such an innocent look." A slight smile graced her lips and his eyes lit up. He had finally earned a smile from her. She realized that she was smiling, immediately stopping and becoming blushful as she nodded. "Why, thank you, Jungkook." "Thank you, Why, thank you, Jungkook." "Jungkook, good girl." Now what should I do? She is in my bedroom. I don't know if she is waiting for me or sleeping there. I can go to my bedroom, but it's our first night and I'm not sure if she is okay with it the moment. It's not a big deal for me to ask her openly, but I don't want to trouble her. She has been talking to me less lately, so I couldn't bring myself to ask her about it. He is running his hand through his hair. What if she is sensitive about getting close to others? What if she is too shy to open up with me? What if she is actually ready and just waiting for me to take the first step? He went to the bedroom and saw her folding her clothes. Her back facing him. He wanted to hug her from behind. Without thinking more, he walked towards her and suddenly hugged her without realizing he almost scared her. She screamed while closing her eyes. "Jungkook, why? It's me, Jungkook, don't be scared." He spoke while still hugging her, but she kept her eyes closed even she heard him. Nevertheless, she said something that made him let go of his hug. "Why? Please step back, Jungkook, I'm scared." As he moved away from her, she turned around to face him, her gaze downcast in guilty. He didn't get angry with his wife. He was simply able to read her emotions through her facial expressions. "Jungkook, look into my eyes, why?" She did as he said. "Jungkook, who? Why? Who? Jungkook, who was it? Who was that made you scared of physical touch?" She was shocked by how he sensed her so quickly while she was still in shock. He took her hand and began rubbing gently. "Jungkook, sit on the bed." She nervously walked over to the bed and sat down. He approached her but kept a distance, making sure not to scare her. "Jungkook, now tell me, who's the hell guy who scared you? What has done he to you?" "I'm your husband. You have to share your happiness and sadness with me. Whatever it is, just let me know, my lady." When I was 13 years old, it was raining early morning. As I arrived at the school, no other students were there except for church teacher. I asked where everyone was, and he said everyone else got leave except me. I got confused and said I was leaving because I felt something dangerous. As I was about to leave, he grabbed my wrist and pulled me into a storage room. Even though I am screaming, he tried to do something. I managed to free myself and escape. After that, I told my parents, but they blamed me and saying it was my fault. They told me I should have been more careful as a girl and followed rules. Since then, I have kept this to myself. Was moved to another school. I'm too scared to talk to others, scared inside, thinking about what if they were like him, Jungkook. Saying that, tears welled up in her eyes. His veins filled with anger and the thoughtful of the man who touched his wife, his fist clenched in tightly. If that guy happened to appear before him, he could end him with a single punch. If he let his anger show, it would surely scare his wife even more. He is managing to control himself, taking a deep breath to calm down. He looked at his wife as everything was normal. He wanted to hug her to provide comfort, but he wasn't quite ready to touch her. I made her uncomfortable. It's not your fault, Ryan. Don't believe what your parents told you. It's just a nonsense. Look at me. I will do whatever it makes you to feel safe again. You are innocent. There is no need to blame yourself. Ryan, but Jungkook, no words, Ryan. Sleep well. Don't recall that incident. I'm sure I can take better care of you than your parents. Ryan, really? Jungkook, you will know. She lay down and he took a blanket and covered her up to her chest. He was about to leave but she called him. Ryan, Jungkook, don't you want to sleep here next to me? Jungkook, I will but not now. Saying that he left the room.